What's up, my people? Jacob here with Bone Claws Comics. Welcome to part 2 of 3 of my Heroes Con videos. If you haven't seen the first video, it is a walkthrough, so be sure to go ahead and check it out. If you have seen it, let's get to digging through those boxes. Alright guys, let the comic hunting begin. Now, the week prior to this convention, I had made a pretty sizable eBay purchase. I bought like 150 to 200 Punisher books and Namor books. The complete run of Marvel Knights Punisher and a lot of the Punisher War Journal books and a lot of the Namor runs. So I was focusing in on just finishing out those runs. That was my target goal at the beginning of this convention, was to complete those runs of Punisher War Journal and Namor. And this is the first booth that I stopped at. And this is a perfect example of one of the issues that a lot of vendors have at these cons is their boxes are so full, you can't flip through them. You have to literally pull out issue by issue, and it is tedious, and it is taxing, and not, economical with time. And these books were crazy of a price. So we're talking like these books are $20 plus per book. And I was thinking maybe it was a fluke, so I'm gonna keep digging, looking for some more. Nope, they're all $20 plus a piece, and that's just not for me. So I noped right out of there. Not for me. A lot of these booths do have con premium prices, so you can just move along. That's what I did. And like I said, there's so many booths. Deciding which booth to stop at and which ones to keep walking by is really a science, and I can't explain it wholly to you right now. I don't understand it entirely myself, whether it's just how it's set up, whether there's dividers and it's in order, or you can go straight to the books that you're looking for, or if it's just all chaos and nothing is in order, or if there's wall books, if there's not, if there's signs like this one, $10 each. Cool, that might be worth a look through if you're looking for something that's $10. I'm looking for $1 books, not for me. But sometimes you just gotta have to go with your gut. Here I'm looking through the P's, looking for the Punisher. Here's one, not one I'm looking for. So back you go, and that's it. So time to move on, but I don't, because I'm like, maybe there's something in the back over here. You kind of laser focus in. You forget exactly what you're looking for a lot of times. Has this ever happened to you where you want to look for something and then you completely forget once you get to where you're going what you want to look for? It just, it brain farts out of your head. Happens to me all the time. Scotty Young was at this convention too, so a lot of guys were buying up his books to get them signed because, he was doing signatures at the con this weekend. So yeah, I'll flip through some of these. I might be looking for Wolverine or X-Men or something. But just a quick little glance through. This is not the kind of book or prices that I'm looking for, so I'm just going to move on. Again, it's hard to really pin down what makes you stop at a booth and what makes you pass it by. Like I said, just looking at the totality of the booth, you kind of have to go with what it looks like, how it makes you feel. The gut feeling you get sometimes about a booth, like, this one's not for me. I'm going to stop here and take a gander at what they have to offer. If you're looking for Silver and Bronze Age, you can gravitate toward those booths that have those signs that say Silver and Bronze Age. This is a good example of a booth. Like, everything is lined up. It looks clean, it looks neat, but it's like, I don't know where to begin. Yeah, there's some tags on some of the boxes, but I don't know where to start, so I'm not gonna. That's it. This one, they have pictures on the boxes. Maybe that's what's in the box, maybe it's not. You don't know until you start digging. And I didn't feel like starting to dig, One of those things that, if the booth is not resonating with you, if you don't dig the booth, then don't dig the booth. I mean, if you ain't digging it, then don't dig it. I dug a little bit. Not much. We're going to move on here real quick. I'm not really looking for magazines or Silver and Bronze Age, so I think I'm just backtracking here because I'm having that tunnel vision. I'm not really able to make a decision on moving on quite yet. And there he goes, he moved along. Good boy. I do stop at this next booth up here. This guy on the left is here every single year. He sells tons and tons of anime and manga. He also sells some hardback books, but all of his stuff is MSRP. I'm not coming to the con to buy MSRP. I'll just do that somewhere else. This setup is gorgeous. Everything is clean and neat and shiny, and guess what? It's in freaking alphabetical order. Oh, you gotta love it, especially when you're trying to save time at a giant con, and time is money. You know, alphabetical order that's my favorite song. And boom, I find the Punisher almost instantly. It's like I knew where it was. I sniffed it out. And there it is, Punisher War Journal. That's my jam right there. That's what I'm looking for. The only issue I have with this booth is these books are $5 a piece. And this is the very, very beginning of the con. That's Punisher 50. I'm debating whether or not that's worth $5 or not. The issue with this being the very beginning of the convention is if you spend $5 a book at the first part of the first day, you're going to find those books for cheaper somewhere else at a later part of the convention. It's a guarantee. It happens every time. So I'm very, very wary about spending a premium dollar on books at the beginning of the con, unless I know it's worth it, which these aren't. So, I kind of peruse through, looking for a key here and there, and what I'm looking in the runs I'm looking for. Don't really find it. I'll move down and probably look for some Namor. I'm also looking for a Magneto book. But here I spot some Wolverine books, and I always dig through Wolverines because Wolverine's my guy. And I'm always on the lookout for like certain, variants that are extremely rare. Just in the off chance I spot one where it's not supposed to be, because the rarity makes the price go through the roof, and I've yet to see one in the wild. And it never hurts to look through Wolverine, and I never waste time when I'm looking through Wolverine because I've already got the complete runs. I'm just looking for those special 1 or 2 books. Funny enough, if you look up on the shelf, there's all the Punisher War Journal books that I'm looking for, and I'm not looking at them. I don't see them. They might as well be invisible to me because I'm paying attention to the long boxes. I'm not even looking at the shelf. So, poop on me for being oblivious and having tunnel vision. And there they go. I'm just walking away. Bye-bye. Not sure what I'm looking for here, but what I'm sure you're looking for is the tops of these, bags and boards. Look how clean and crisp and shiny they are. Camera work needs some work. Oh, look, a better look at these bags and boards. Beautiful, crisp. Some of these look like they're freshly bagged and boarded, which is really, really nice. Adds to the value, I think. Oh look, there's books on the wall. I'm just not noticing them. Let me look through, see if there are any keys that I want. Oh look, there's the Punisher books that I've been looking for this whole time, right in front of me. It's like I'm blind. I need new glasses maybe. And this is one thing that bothers me, is there's a tag here that says Punisher War Journal 100. What does that mean exactly? Like, you saying this one book for $100 because it ain't worth it? Is it the whole run for $100? What's $100? What does that mean? I need 1 through 8 of this run. I got everything else. So I'm wanting to ask the guy who runs the booth, but he's talking to somebody, so I'm waiting on him to shut up so I can ask him what the deal is with these books that I want to procure from him. And we're waiting, because I'm patient. Here he comes. Sir, tell me about these books. So he's saying something very, very obscure that I have to clarify. He's like, oh yeah, war journals, they're $100. Okay, for what? He's like, oh, the whole run. This is clearly not the whole run of Punisher War Journal, because the whole run is 80 books. And this is not 80 books. So he clarifies it's 1 through 19 for $100. I'm like, I'm really just looking for 1 through 8 if he'd be interested in selling 1 through 8. He's like, no, I want to sell them all together for $100. And I'm like, no, thank you, sir. I appreciate it, but it ain't worth $100. There's 2 minor keys in there, and that's the Wolverine Punisher books. There's 2 of them, and they're like 10 to 15 bucks a piece. And the rest of them are $1 books. So thank you, appreciate the setup, but I'm going to move along. And here's another example, Wolverines. I have all these. I found all these in dollar bins. This is like 25 books, and he's selling this run for $200. I mean, somebody might buy it, but it ain't gonna be me. Nice setup, but I think I'm gonna move on. Just not yet, because there's a line to get out of this place. He was also selling these hardbacks, the Absolutes and Omnis. I love Absolutes and Omnis, but the prices he was asking were not, they were not my jam. So I move along. Starting a little more crowded. You see the line for the blood donation. People just sitting there wasting time waiting to donate blood for 50 bucks when they paid $35 to get into this convention. I mean, dude, time is money. Time is money. This booth I actually do spend a good bit of time in. They had some good deals, and I end up buying like 80 books. Yeah, 80 books from them. They had it separated like your silver and bronze age. They had a box of keys. And then they have your $2 bins, which is nice. I don't mind digging through $2 bins, especially when they're in alphabetical order. Yes. I'm seeing this and I'm getting a little, nerd excited because I can just look through my books quickly. I think I discovered they're in alphabetical order around this time. I'm like, well, these are X's. I'm not looking for X's. I'm looking for Punishers. So I need to find my way to the P's. Don't mind my hand here. I need to put on some lotion or something because it's a little dry. Here's a closer look at it. Again, my cameraman is shoddy. Eventually, I'm going to move around to the other side where the books I'm actually looking for are. Here we go. Moving along, sir. And I see some W's, so automatically gravitate toward the Wolverines. I'll even let you see some of them here. See? Look. And I'll see this book here. I almost grab it. Wolverine and the Punisher. I even come back to it a little bit later. I still never grab it. I don't know why I never picked it up. I just didn't for whatever reason. I'm not sure if I have it already or not, but I picked that book up at least twice looking for it. And these are some books that somebody left on top, never bought. I guess they just took them out to flip through and never put them back, which is annoying, but hey, is the name of the game. Kind of like, you looking at the top of these bags and boards. I just want you to get a good look at, the different shades of white and off cream color. Yeah. I really want you to look at just about everything except the books that I'm looking at because, it's none of your business, I guess. Oh, look, I'll even share what I'm looking at here. Oh, not for long. Again, I'm looking for specific books, so this is why I'm kind of dirty flipping through these, which you can't tell anymore because I'm, again, letting you look at the top of these bags and boards. Notice how some of them have some age on them, some of them are brand new looking. And look, I pulled out a book, but I'm not going to let you see it because, my cameraman, I'm going to fire later on. But I do want you to take a look at this mole on my wrist because it's been there for a long time and I might need to get it looked at. Here are some Punisher books. Don't think these are the ones I'm looking for. I've already got all the Marvel Knights here, which he tries to sell me later. But I told him where I got them. And here's the Punisher Maxes that he actually does sell me later on. I'm not collecting Punisher Max, but I guess I am now because I ended up buying them. Mainly because he gave me a really good deal. But yeah, I eventually find some Punisher War Journals that I snag. You know, $2, I got no problem spending $2 on a book. Time to break out the old phone with the Comic Geeks and the list of books that I yet need for my run. I mean, this app is really a lifesaver. We actually got into a debate as I was digging through the books when I was pulling out my phone, because the guy next to me pulled out the old school sheet of paper. And we were talking about the benefits of using a paper versus a phone. And I mean, there's benefits to both. I mean, you don't have to fiddle with your phone if you have a piece of paper. But then again, a piece of paper is only going to hold so much. And you can just keep track of it a lot easier, I think, with your phone, with this app in particular. If you don't have the Comic Geek or the League of Comic Geeks app on your phone, it's a lifesaver. You should really check it out. And it's free, so I mean, why wouldn't you? It can be a little time consuming, though, to manually go in and punch in, I want this or I have this. But, I mean, really, it's a lifesaver when you're actually at the con digging through the box, so I prefer the phone, I think, overall. Here, I think I'm looking for some Namor books, but I'm looking at the NEs because, you know, I can't spell worth a damn, apparently. Going back, moving this pile of garbage that somebody left there. And the eyes, because I might be looking for Eye of Vampire too, because there's a couple Eye of Vampire books I need. But what you're looking for is the top of these bags and boards again. Really showcasing those today. The camera work is just, you know, outstanding. I wonder what that big thick book is right there. No idea. Little yellow pages, but you know, we read the books for the stories, right? Alright, so now we're looking back for, I'm looking for a Magneto, because I need Magneto #1, and oopsie daisy, there it is, as if on cue. I think that's all I had in there. Now I see these Ghost Rider books, and I don't collect Ghost Rider right now. I really like Ghost Rider, but I'm kind of focused on finishing out this Punisher run and this Namor run before I open up another collection to start collecting-ish. So I'm hesitant to pick it up. I really enjoy the recent, you know, Ghost Runner runs by Benjamin Percy, but you know, Ghost Rider, you know, can get a little pricey when you start getting to the older, more key issues. And I'm a completionist, so I gotta have them. So I haven't dove into collecting Ghost Rider quite yet. It might be my next run that I collect. But I snagged these up. I went ahead and picked up this Dracula book that I found in the bin too. Awesome find there. And he tells me, oh, right behind me here is my $1 bin. Oh, great, thanks. He even tells me he has some Punisher War Journal sitting in there. Cool, you the man. Now I'm gonna spend some more money at your booth. And I tell this guy to move the heck over, make room for the man, because I'm coming through. And so I find this little vein of Punisher War Journal. And what I mean by a vein is, I'm not sure if everybody uses that term, but you know, a lot of comic book hunters, you know, call it digging for gold. And the old adage of like gold mining, you know, back when you're mining for gold comes in veins, like little streaks of gold through the rocks, and they're called gold veins. So that's what I call them. Like, you know, if you're digging through these, you know, unordered long boxes of $1 books, a lot of times you'll find veins of good books. That's what I call them. Here I find some Iliad books, and yes, these are the Homer, Odyssey, and Iliad books in comic book form, which I never heard of, published by Marvel. So I'm looking at them, I'm like, hey, it's a set of 8, And I'm like, these are 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3. I'm like, this all? So I'm double checking here. And it's so appealing when you find like a whole run or a whole set of books. And sure enough, I think they're all there. So I snag them all together, and I'm looking at them like, you know what? They're mine. I keep on digging because I find that these are in somewhat alphabetical order. Not, entirely, but, there's chunks of things that are in alphabetical order. Kind of like if they were in order at one time and people picked through them for years, and now they're in order but not in order. You know what I'm saying. So I'm digging through, and you're looking at this Iliad cover because, I'm highlighting, this cool find that I found that didn't know existed. And we're moving on to the next. And here's the fun part, separating books I've purchased with books I have not yet purchased. So, me problems. Here's another Punisher vein that I found. Awesome. So time to pull out the old phone and the list and stuff. So don't look at my password. So we're moving on. So yeah, I need quite a few, and I actually find quite a few at this vendor. So I start yeeting books right up out of this box like a madman here in a second. And now I got to mark off the ones that I've already bought because nothing's worse than spending $1 that you don't have to. So I got to go through the list and mark off the ones that I just bought. I know this stuff is riveting to watch, but this is the nature of the game. Now we're getting back into the diggy. Oh, you're mine. Ute. And I just keep this up. I keep this up for a hot minute, just pulling out books that I need. And I do the same thing for some Namor books. I end up finding some Namor books in this same vendor. Like I said, I walk away from this vendor spending like, I think I spent $60 and bought 82 books. So yeah, I feel they ended up giving me this nice big bag to carry them in. They were super nice, and they were telling me that as the con goes on, their prices will get lower and lower. I said, you know what? I'll be back on Sunday because I'm not coming Saturday, but I'm coming back Sunday. So I'll see you guys Sunday. They're like, okay, cool, see you Sunday. And then when I showed up Sunday, they're like, hey, I didn't think you were actually coming back. I was like, I'm a man of my word. I'm going to buy more of your books because now they're 25 cents. They were 25 cents on Sunday. And sure as hell, I bought some more books. And I'll show you those in a later video. Alright, my people, day one is in the books. I got to do a lot of digging today, mainly because this was the first time that I went to a con by myself. I usually go with my family or friends, and when you go with people, there's that added pressure of I want to be quick about it so they're not lingering around with me. Now, they're into comic books and stuff too, just not as much as I am. So there's always that pressure like, oh, they're waiting around doing nothing or being bored while I'm digging through these books, and I don't want to, make them feel like they're wasting their time and not having a good time. So there's always that added pressure when I'm going with a group. Not the case on day one, on Friday. It was just me. I got to do all the digging that I wanted to do. Apologies again for my cameraman. I'm going to fire him as soon as I see him again because, I wanted to get a lot of footage of me digging through books. Unfortunately, we got a lot of footage of, bags and boards. They were nice bags and boards in some cases, but nonetheless, not what I wanted to capture. But still, I picked up a ton of books. A lot of my Punisher War Journal series, a lot of my Namor series that I'm wanting to complete. Day one was a overwhelming success. I had to take a trip to my car halfway through the day because I literally could not carry anymore. One of the vendors I bought like 80-something books from gave me this huge bag to tote around, which was really, really nice because it actually saved me a trip because my backpack was full. So it was really nice of them. They were a really great vendor, and I actually went back to them on Sunday. I didn't go Saturday. I just went Friday and Sunday. It was a really successful day on Friday. Sunday was a bit special because I got to take my family, my wife and my daughter, and they had a really good time. I didn't do as much digging on Sunday, but I did do a little bit, and I did snag some pretty good deals, those Sunday deals. But also, I got to meet up with a YouTuber. It was my first time meeting up with a fellow YouTuber. All right, I want to give a shout out to Hagen from Lettuce Comics. We got to meet up on Heroes Con on Sunday. He's a really great guy. He's actually the guy who inspired me to finally make a YouTube channel. A lot of his viewership came from bigger channels, shout outs and whatnot, but funny enough, I discovered his channel before I discovered any of the others, so that was really, really neat, I thought. It just shows how his channel's growing and the influence he's starting to have. It couldn't happen to a nicer guy. He actually had a gift for me, meeting for the first time. It was awesome. I'm going to tell you a little story about that at the end of the video, but fantastic guy. I look forward to meeting up with him again in the future. We're not too far from each other, so I'm sure we can put something together. Again, his channel is linked down in the description below. If you haven't subscribed, please check out his channel, like and subscribe. He's hilarious. He's a great content creator, and his intros are second to none. I seriously need to up my game and get on his level because, he's great. He deserves your time and your viewership. We didn't get any filming done together. I think he was kind of pressed for time, and I was with my family, and we were not spending the whole day at the con on Sunday, but I'm sure we'll get something together in the future. I look forward to meeting with him again and talking with him again. Like I said, outstanding guy. And he actually got some pretty good pickups too, so be sure to check out his Heroes Con video because I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. All right, guys, so we're back on day 3, technically, of Heroes Con, and I am just getting through the door, making a beeline for this booth that I stopped at on Friday. Now, I saw these books at this booth. They were Clive Barker Tapping the Vein books. It was books 2, 3, and 4. They were missing issue number 1, which is why I ultimately decided not to pick them up. They were really neat, and I'm really into the obscure kind of horror books. But I really regretted not picking them up. So first thing Sunday morning, I'm heading for this booth and I'm looking for them. So I'm digging through the box looking for this book because it was right here on the end, if I remember correctly. And yeah, I'm dirty digging, I know, but I'm on the hunt for these specific books. And these were, thick boys. They were hefty books, so they would be very, very easy to spot. So I'm quick flipping through. Almost grabbed these Conans, but they were missing issue 1, and there popped up issue 1, but wasn't the same series. So I continue my dirty flips through these long boxes looking for these Clive Barker books, but ultimately I don't find them. Unfortunately, somebody had picked them up. I do continue looking and find some stuff that I end up picking up and buying. This was the first stop of the day because I really, really wanted those books. Like, I thought about this all Saturday that I should have grabbed these books, and I just had a feeling somebody was going to snatch them up before I could get to them, and that's exactly what ended up happening. I did pick up this Wolverine number 1. If I find a Wolverine number 1 of any series for $1, I'm going to snag it. That's just me. I think Wolverine number 1s are very, very easy to flip and sell if I decide to. It's just one of those things I like to collect. A basket full of heads. I'd pick that up the day before, but you can't ever go wrong with another issue. This Night of the Living Dead book I thought was really neat. I've never seen it before, so for $1, why not? I'm gonna pick it up, flip through it. There's me and my little horror fetish, showing through. I continue flipping through these books, looking for random stuff now because I'm still hopeful that they have this book or those books, but in my gut, I have a feeling that somebody snatched them up. And again, while I look at these books, I want you guys to take a look at these bags and boards yet again. My cameraman got a stern talking to over the weekend, and he has not gotten his act together, so he is going to be fired first thing Monday morning. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I ended up asking him. He said, yeah, somebody picked them up on Saturday. Funny enough, he says, the guy next to you looking through the bins is the guy who picked him up the day before. And I'm like, you know, that's just my luck. I mean, I should have picked him up. Lesson learned, really. You know, if it's sticking out to me, you know, pay an extra $1 or $2 and buy them on day one, because, you know, thousands of people come through these cons every day, and the odds of it being there on the last day when you come back it's minuscule. So, you know, lesson learned. If it catches my eye, spend the $1 or $2 extra and freaking buy the books. But anyway, I still had a great, you know, trip. This third day turned out to be very, very fruitful for me. I ended up buying like another 100 books or so, including a very, very major key for me. One of my holy grails, if not the holy grail for me. So we'll go over that in here in a little bit, but still a very, very successful day. I had my family with me today, and so I didn't dig nearly as much as I did on Friday, but we had a great time. The daughter had a great time. It was ultimately a really successful con. All right, guys, that's it for Sunday. I know that wasn't a lot, but like I said, didn't do a whole lot of digging. Now, on to what Hagen had for me. If you're a fan of his channel, if you've watched his videos, you know this book. You've seen this book. He's talked about this book. It is infamous and fantastic. The masterwork, Rob Liefeld, Captain America #2. The beautiful artwork, the stunning cover. Look at that. I mean, you know, Todd McFarlane, you know, has nothing compared to this. I mean, just excellent 90s artwork all around. Just you cannot get better than this when it comes to pure works of art. Just outstandingly beautiful, hauntingly beautiful. Now, I'm a reader of books. I mean, I appreciate art, I really do, but I'm a reader of books. So, of course, I had to read this book. I had to try to read this book. One of the things about comics is there's so much story told through the art, and the art on the interior of this book does not get any better than the cover. It actually gets worse, I think, in my opinion, and I kept getting lost in it. Like, I couldn't look away. Every single character in this book looks just like that. Like, I could not tell the difference between Captain America and this is Nick Fury. You know, when he first came onto the book, onto the pages, I thought it was an older version of Captain America. It's so hard to follow because the art is so atrocious. I mean, beautiful. So, I mean, this is a great book. And now the great story. Hagen brought this book to the con, and while it was in his possession, he made an awesome Grail pickup. Go check out his video. I know he's going to talk about it, and I know you're going to be blown away because it's an awesome pickup, and he got a great deal. We meet up. He gives me this book. After that, it's in my possession, and I make a huge Grail pickup. Great deal on a Holy Grail book of mine. So I had this joke that I told Hagen about that, you know, I'm going to pass this book along because it's kind of like a curse, the curse of Liefeld. And, you know, I'm going to send it in an A-OK to another YouTuber as a joke, and it's going to be our, like, inside circle joke. And, you know, we'll just keep passing the curse of Liefeld on to one another as, you know, it's a funny little thing. But it may not be the curse we think of after all. It may be a gift, a curse that brings you good luck. Because, you know, Hagen had it when he found his book. I had it when I found my book. So somebody is going to be getting this in an A-OK. And we'll see if you get the same luck that we had. So I'm excited to hear about it. Great first meeting with Hagen. You know, like I said before, Lettuce Comics in the description below. Please go check out his channel. You know, he deserves your time. He deserves your viewership. Let's just marvel at this one last time because, you know, I just, man, absolutely stunning. I don't want to burn my lens on the camera either, so let's take a break on that. Anyway, I appreciate you stopping by, checking out this video. If you like the content, please like and subscribe to the channel. And be sure to come back for episode 3, where I show you my massive comic book haul and the Holy Grail that I picked up for a steal of a deal. Talk to you next time.